Thanks so much for tuning in to watch this video. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for over 1,000 punk rock videos. Since 2017, I've been traveling the world interviewing punk bands with my 100% self-funded DIY show. So if you enjoy my videos, drop a tip with the thanks button below, or you can cash out me to $Erin Micklow or PayPal to emicklow88@gmail.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Last Rockers TV, the podcast, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
Erin Micklow, and I'm here at Rebellion with the Restarts. Introduce yourselves.
Hello, Erin. I'm Kieran, play bass.
I'm Robin with the Restarts, play guitar.
I'm Jeremy, and I play the drums.
Yay!
And we all sing as well.
I'm so happy to see you guys again. Kieran, I see you around a lot more often, but the two of you, I haven't seen you since, I think, our last interview in 2019.
I think I saw you at the New Inn when the Svetlanas played last year, maybe?
Very briefly. You were like on your way out, and I was like hanging out.
I was on the bike ride.
Well, so you guys were just added to Rebellion Festival last minute, right?
Yes, yep. Darren shot us an email. DOA cancelled, sadly, so we were more than happy to take their place.
Yes.
Big DOA fan, so respect to them, but sorry they're not here, but we'll do our best.
Playing the Empress tonight at 7 o'clock?
Yes.
Awesome. Was it difficult for you guys to get here on such short notice?
It was a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. We had like a rental car, and they canceled on us, and then we've kind of been like blacklisted from all the other rental companies. So we had a friend of ours, Nayab, who stood up at the last minute and got us up here in the nick of time.
Why have you been blacklisted from the other? What are you doing to these rentals?
We don't know, actually. So I kind of had a bit of a fender bender with one rental company, and that's kind of jinxed me. And then Robin, Jeremy, I don't know. I tried to get Jeremy on my car rental thing, and they were like, yes, he's approved. And then they're like, actually, no, he's not. Maybe they know who we are, and they're trying to, foil our plans.
Talking about this off camera that you're the flamboyant one, you're the bad one, and you're the quiet one.
Yeah, 3 personalities.
Yes, this is a fabulous jacket. Can we talk about this? This is one of your stage clothes from Music in Our Underpants, your project with your husband.
Yes, and I thought, why not? It can be the Restarts too. So just trying to bring back a bit of the flamboyance, sort of early Damned, and back when punk was just, you could just do anything that was out of the norm to just create a look, so I'm going for that vibe.
Yeah, I know it well. Like I got so much shit when I was in my plastic skirts era that I used to make, and people were like, the Erin Micklow starter kit, hot topic. This is the new one where it's like you're gonna make some people mad to know what the fuck's he wearing.
Haters gonna hate. That's kind of part of being a punk rocker, We've since I was a teenager, I received hate for looking the way we looked, but now that it's kind of an established look, we kind of got to push the boundaries a little further.
And we'll see, maybe next year you come here and this will be the established look, and everyone will be walking around with these sleeves, and then we'll be the outsiders. Like.
Yeah.
No, I like, if this becomes a look, it's like people are gonna have to walk around with combs. Cause can you imagine by the end of the weekend, like everyone just combing each other's hair?
Especially the skinheads will love it because they'll have hair again, like me.
They'll be like beer all over. And I'm like, oh, hold on, your jacket's a little.
Spike your hair up before you go out.
I was told I should get a pet brush, like a fur brush. Comb my fur.
Oh God, it's getting all over the microphones.
Sorry, it gets everywhere.
you guys are you're in the process of finally recording new music.
We are. We're doing. We've just planned to do a kind of last-minute 7-inch, and yeah. So we're in the creative writing process, struggling a little, but we've booked the studio time, and so we'll deliver something next week. Yeah.
Next week already.
Yeah. We have a week to, put on the polishing bits.
So do you have enough songs ready to start to record a full album, or are you doing it in kind of sections?
Yeah, so we only have enough time to do, so it's the guy we normally book with, Andy Brook, and he was in our area and he said, I have some available spaces, so we just booked 3 days and that's enough to do 2 songs, so.
Wonderful. It's
Yeah.
exciting. And then you guys will write some more. What's your process when you sit down to start making a new album?
That's not. I think with the writing part, on my part, it just comes over time, automatically kind of thing. It's not something I can plan. So, but yeah, everyone's got their own kind of writing process, I think, and then we'll rehearse them in the studio and try to polish them up, and
But it gets harder as you get older. I don't know. So we sometimes experience kind of writer's block, and it's just about getting in that mindset when we were younger and they just kind of flowed out of us, But now you kind of, after 26 years, you kind of get a bit, not precious, but you just, I've got to deliver the goods, So you can get caught in a bubble, like a block. And so I'm kind of struggling a bit there, but, we've got the foundations down. And then, so I'll come up with a riff, show it to these guys. Jeremy will kind of work out what drums would work with it. And yeah, so it's we just got to get over that first hurdle.
Yeah. Quiet one. What's your process when you come in to make new songs?
So I wait for these guys to come up with something, if they come up with something, and then so I'll just add my drums. But as a punk drummer, it's easy, You don't have much to do,
Yeah.
I think the more complex is to come up with lyrics that are
politically correct. I'm joking.
That makes sense today in the politics today, because I think in punks people repeat themselves a lot, but it's actually necessary because
the message still hasn't been heard enough.
Exactly. That's why I think
Same
Restarts
problems.
will always be a relevant band even in 2023 for sure.
For sure.
Well, we find our best process is when the 3 of us get together in a room, which is kind of a luxury because we've,
In London? Yeah.
Yeah, because we have to pay for rehearsal time, but really that's when there's we all have equal involvement, and that's when we get good results. So, yeah, we'll probably try and get more of that this next week.
Or just make sure you guys get arrested as well. We might end up in the same room.
No.
What do you mean getting arrested? Then, Robin, can you tell us more about?
Yeah,
I'm
let's
stealing
talk
it.
about that. We were talking a bit about that
Yes.
off camera.
The naughty boy.
The bad one. The
No,
bad one here. What did you do?
We made a statement today, a few days ago, saying that there might be a break coming up. We don't know. It depends on the trial. But I've got a Crown Court trial in November coming up for, don't know how much I should say, but for my involvement in Palestine Action, which is a movement that's trying to stop all ties that the UK has with Palestine, with Israel. Obviously, I call it still Palestine. So we kind of dismantled an arms factory, stayed on the roof for 3 days and 3 nights. Well, we got taken off the 3rd night, and kind of made sure they couldn't operate for 2 weeks after we'd taken off. So I'm not to say, windows got smashed, cameras got smashed, everything got smashed that was within reach from the rooftop kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that started a whole movement. This was back in 2020, I think, so 3 years ago. And since then, for a while, it was I don't know, every month there were, because Elbit Systems, the Israeli company that runs those arms factories in the UK, they got about 10 sites. 2 of them has been closed down already because of the direct action. It wasn't before that it happened like maybe once a year or something, but since Palestine Action every month, and it's like they just can't operate when people are on the roof, literally. So we literally shut Elbit down.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You
And
can see the effects and the impact it's having. So it's really, people power works.
Yeah. Worth the potential risk.
Yeah, but the government are kind of in bed with Elbit systems, like the drones operating at Dover and stuff, like monitoring refugees trying to cross, like the Elbit systems now as well. The Met Police, or maybe even the UK police force, have a contract going with Elbit as well. So it's like, yeah, and obviously with the Tory government and Suella Braverman, and like they're all very Zionist in their views and stuff. So
You don't really hear about anything like that in America. People aren't doing stuff like that.
well, I think there's a way of doing direct actions in every single country, and the way the cops in America would react to it would probably be different than in the UK. Like, you wouldn't get shot while you're on the roof. I mean, maybe if you're black, but I'm a mixed race, so they probably didn't notice that.
Yeah, I
But,
mean, yeah, obviously, like, you see what goes on in America, and like the way that
Yeah.
that's.
But also it's difficult to get publicity when it's about that topic, because the way it's one of these last kind of things that are going on that I think everyone, even people who are supporting Israel, know that it's fucking wrong, that it's apartheid, but it's just still a taboo, and no one's trying to come near the subject, being afraid of being called anti-Semitic for supporting, the freedom of Palestine.
There's a culture of fear about talking about it because you don't want to be perceived as anti-Semitic, but it's not. To be critical, we're critical of the UK government. People in America are critical of the American government, and what other governments around the world are doing. We're critical of Putin, and we can equally be critical of Netanyahu and people in Israel.
Yeah, also the whole definition of anti-Semitism. If you're going to assume that that worldwide jury have the same political opinion, because it's different, it's a political opinion basically. That's an anti-Semitic view in the first place. I mean, you can't just assume. Like, Israel is trying to pretend that they speak for all Jews, but I was arrested in Palestine. That was a different action, nothing to do with Palestine. This before Palestine action, trying to protect a village from being bulldozed by the Israeli army, together with the Jewish activist who's obviously against Israel as well. Like, it's got nothing to do with Judaism. Like,
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, obviously with this being, a big topic of what's going on in your personal life right now, has this influenced these two new songs that you're taking into the studio? You were just saying that, we don't have as much stuff to talk about anymore. It's kind of like, hey, I might be going to jail and the band might be taking a big break.
Yeah. No, the Uprising album, the song Uprising obviously was very much inspired by my trip to Palestine and my stay over there. But that was before Palestine Action, so there's new material there, I guess.
But yeah, it is kind of, substance for new material, and so I'm kind of working around how the culture of lying is now an acceptable form of politics, and we've seen on both sides of the pond with, Boris Johnson and Trump, and just blatant lies is now accepted as just part of politics, and it's not questioned, and then people repeat that lie and it becomes bigger, and then it's believed when it's absolutely blatantly obvious it's a lie. But it's got to do with social media and how we're conditioned, and bots and stuff, and steering people to more extreme views, or it's just, yeah, it's really crazy. So there's no lack of choice of stuff to sing about, definitely.
Excited to hear the new music. Hopefully you won't be going to jail. Hopefully.
Inshallah.
We will keep people updated online, but for the time being, we're taking a break from September to December, and then we'll, give more information when we know more. After December.
Is that kind of what your attorneys have advised you, or?
No, they haven't really advised me anything about the band. I did send them some songs, but they were not really into that stuff. No, it's just because some of our songs are about the subject, obviously, and we want to also say in court that this is the last resort of what we're doing. Basically, like we tried every democratic process thing, even written songs about these things like years ago already, and nothing changes. Like you got to take direct action, take the power in your own hands, and actually stop these factories instead of asking the authorities to do something, or the cops that war criminals operating in a factory in your country.
Definitely. Well, and then lastly, you had an injury last year?
We had several injuries. So with lockdown, it was a huge, it was a nightmare. So all bands everywhere couldn't play, and there's no live events. And then after that kind of 1.5, 2 year episode, bands started to return to playing live gigs. But then Jeremy had like an injury in his elbow, nerve damage. And then he was just about to get better, and I fell off my bicycle going about 2 miles an hour carrying a box for Moscow Death Brigade, and I fell on my elbow and broke it. And then, so that put me back, so we were just about ready, that put me back about another 6 months. And yeah, so finally, after about 3 years, we started gigging again.
That last year here at Rebellion, I was like, "Oh, are you guys playing?" And you're like, "No, I can't play yet. I physically can't." So you just got on stage with Moscow Death Brigade.
Yes, I could do that.
You could do that.
Have a cast and sing.
And then you had your music in our underpants with your husband, where you had the little instrument.
Ukulele.
Yeah, I try to forget that. The ukulele as well. Not music in our underpants. They're fucking brilliant, but I can't stand the ukulele sound. That's the little thing.
Why do you hate it so much?
I don't know. It's just the sound of it. Like it's literally it's just like it's a taste in music. Like you say, I don't like the color green or something. Someone has a favorite color, favorite food, favorite instrument.
It's like, excuse me, it's a little too happy for you.
It's a happy sound.
You can make dark sounds out of it, I'm sure as well. It just sounds shit, whatever you do with it. That's the only good sound it can do. I'm joking. No, it's just a matter of taste. Like.
You're gonna have to take some direct action against that ukulele.
Shut ukulele down. I think I feel a song coming up.
We've now got an idea.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to close with that. Thank you guys so much for taking some time with me tonight.
Hello, we're the Restarts, and you're watching
Last Rockers TV.